When you're scrolling through endless fitness gadgets, the biggest fear is ending up with something that looks impressive on paper but turns into a dusty shelf divider after a few weeks. You want a machine that actually fits into the rhythm of your day, doesn't demand a PhD to figure out, and gives you a clear reason to keep paying for a gym membership. That's why I'm taking a hard look at the AXV vibration plate before you decide whether to spend a chunk of your budget on it. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the hesitation most people have with vibration plates isn't about the technology, it's about the practicality. A lot of reviewers talk about frequency settings and amplitude ranges, but never explain what that feels like when you're actually standing on it while watching Netflix or doing a quick stretch between meetings. I asked myself the same questions while testing it in my own living room. Does it stay steady on hardwood floors? Can I set it up in a cramped apartment without tripping over cords? How loud is it when the motor kicks in? Those are the moments that separate a gimmick from a tool you'll actually use. The AXV unit arrives in a fairly compact box, and the assembly is essentially a matter of sliding the platform onto the base and plugging the power cord into a standard outlet. There's a remote control, which is a nice touch because you can stay on the couch and toggle intensity without stepping off. In real life, the remote proved reliable, the buttons didn't stick, and the range was decent enough that I could change settings from the other side of the room. If you're the type who hates fiddling with knobs while your kids are bouncing around, that remote alone adds a few minutes of sanity each session. What the machine really shines at is the hands-free aspect of a vibration workout. When you stand, squat, or do simple calf raises, the platform's subtle shaking forces your muscles to engage constantly to maintain balance. For someone who spends most of the day at a desk, those micro-contractions can feel like a gentle reminder to move, without the need to carve out a full hour for cardio. I tried it during my morning coffee routine, a 5-minute warm-up while I brewed a pot, then a quick 10-minute core shake while scrolling through emails. The experience was surprisingly low impact, yet I felt my legs and core working harder than on a static mat. If weight loss is the primary goal, the vibration plate isn't a magic fat burner, but it does complement other activities. People who pair it with a brisk walk or light resistance training report a modest uptick in calorie burn because the muscles stay activated even when the rest of the body is relatively still. In my own case, adding a 15-minute session after a treadmill run shaved a few minutes off my recovery time, likely due to increased blood flow. For anyone recovering from a minor injury or looking for low-impact rehab, that extra circulation can be a genuine benefit. The product's own marketing mentions relief, rehabilitation and repair, and that lines up with the feeling of a gentle massage through the whole lower body after a session. Now, let's talk about the drawbacks that matter once the box is out of the way. The platform's surface is a hard, textured plastic that can be a bit unforgiving on sore feet if you stand for too long. I noticed a slight numbness after a 20-minute stretch session, which is something to consider if you have plantar fasciitis or sensitive arches. Another practical concern is the noise level. The motor isn't silent. On the higher settings it produces a low hum that can be heard through thin apartment walls. It's not a jackhammer, but if you live in a shared space where quiet is a rule, you might want to schedule your workouts for times when neighbors aren't likely to be napping. The device also doesn't come with an integrated app or detailed workout programs, which some competitors tout. That means the onus is on you to design a routine. For beginners who thrive on guided sessions, this could feel like a missing piece. However, the simplicity can be a virtue for folks who just want to stand, shake, and go. No software updates, no subscription fees, just a remote and a platform. Who should buy the AXV vibration plate? If you're a busy professional, a stay-at-home parent, or anyone who wants a quick way to activate muscles without a full-blown cardio session, this is a solid addition. It fits nicely under a desk, in a home office, or beside a TV, and the remote makes it easy to integrate into short breaks. It's also a reasonable entry point for people undergoing physiotherapy who need to keep joints moving without weight-bearing stress. The high rating from over 13,000 buyers suggests that, for most, the value they receive outweighs the modest trade-offs. Who should skip it? If you're a hardcore athlete looking for high-intensity interval training, you'll probably find the vibration levels underwhelming. The platform.